On a picturesque farm amidst green fields and golden cornfields, a decision was made. It was time to build a doghouse. The owners of the farm decided that their faithful quadruped deserved a comfortable shelter. Two irreplaceable tractors were to be used for this task. A red one and a green one, each equipped with special tools for the job. The red tractor was the first to leave the garage. Its task was to prepare the area for construction. It easily attached the attached shovel and set to work. It dug a trench with precision, creating the foundations for the doghouse. Its powerful hydraulic arm and sharp bucket effortlessly penetrated the soil, removing the earth with centimeter precision. Each depression was carefully leveled, creating a perfectly rectangular space that was to become a solid foundation for the future shelter. The red tractor worked methodically, step by step, making sure that the trench was deep and wide enough to ensure the doghouse's stability and durability for many years. Once the area was ready, a green tractor drove into the warehouse to pick up the appropriate goods for our booth. The green tractor brought the wooden planks and other building materials that were needed to create a shelter for the dog. He skillfully lifted the heavy beams and placed them in place, creating a solid structure. And that is how our doghouse was created. Thanks to the cooperation of the red and green tractors, each element of the structure was precisely placed in its place. Solid wooden walls, carefully cut and connected, created a safe shelter. The roof, made of strong planks, provided protection from rain and wind. Every detail of the doghouse, from the stable foundations to the roof finish, was the result of joint work and commitment. When the work was finished, the doghouse stood proudly in its place, ready to accept its new tenant. Picturesque village, amidst green meadows and golden fields, lived a small red tractor. Although smaller than other tractors in the area, it stood out for its energy and constant desire to work. Despite its small size, the little red tractor was full of enthusiasm and always ready for action. Every morning, as soon as the first rays of sunlight illuminated the farm, a little red tractor drove out of the garage. He loved the fresh morning air and the sound of nature waking up. His first task was always to visit the hen house, where he would use his trailer to collect freshly laid eggs. After the morning chores, it was time for real challenges. Today, the little red tractor was tasked with plowing the field for new seeding. With energy and precision, he attached the cultivator and headed out into the field. Although the task was demanding, the tractor coped admirably, leaving behind evenly plowed furrows that looked like carefully laid lines in the field. Its precise work meant that the soil was perfectly prepared to receive the seed, ensuring a bountiful harvest next season. The little red tractor worked tirelessly, and its energy and commitment were unmatched. When it was finished, the field looked like a work of agricultural art, ready for the next stages of cultivation. In the evening, as the sun began to set, the little red tractor returned to the garage. He was tired but happy, knowing that he had helped with many important tasks on the farm. Before going to sleep, he looked out at the fields, which, thanks to him, were now tidy and straw. An unexpected accident occurred. The tractor was working hard in the field, forming even bales of straw, when suddenly sparks started flying from the baler. In the blink of an eye, the dry hay caught fire, and the flames began to spread quickly. The tractor immediately drove away to a safe distance to prevent damage to the machine. Fortunately, the farm was always prepared for such situations. A specialized red and white tractor with a water tank and fire pump mounted on a trailer came to the rescue. The tractor sped towards the burning baler, raising clouds of dust into the air. Its engine roared, and the wheels rolled with force over the uneven surface of the field. As it approached the fire, the tractor slowed, precisely maneuvering to position itself for the rescue operation. An arm with a mounted fire extinguisher extended from the tank, ready to fight the fire. The fire was rising higher and higher, but the tractor, full of determination, began the extinguishing operation, spraying water on the burning baler. Swaraj's small tractor was set to work harvesting maize. Surrounded by larger and more powerful machines, Swaraj stood out for his agility and reliability. As the first rays of sunlight began to illuminate the fields, Swaraj was already in full readiness. His engine purred softly as he set out for work, full of determination and ready for action. Once he got there, Swaraj began his work with gusto. His job was to pick the right corn kernels and load them onto a trailer. With precision and speed, he picked each kernel, checking carefully to make sure everything was harvested. Despite his size, Swaraj could work with incredible efficiency, leaving behind neatly harvested rows of corn. Everyone on the farm knew that Swaraj could always be counted on. His dedication and reliability made him a firm favorite, and his daily efforts were crucial to the success of the harvest. When the day was over, the little tractor would proudly return to the garage, knowing that it had once again proven its worth. courage, was always ready for action, regardless of the time of day or the difficulty of the task. Early in the morning, the tractor received a call to a nearby farm where a barn had caught fire. Thanks to its special equipment, the tractor was able to quickly attach the appropriate equipment and go to put out the fire. After a successful firefighting operation and an intense storm that passed through the area, many trees were blown down, blocking roads and paths on the farm. The fire truck, equipped with a winch and a special loader, went into action. It easily removed the fallen trees, clearing the road and restoring access to the fields and buildings. The fire truck is always ready for action, whether it's the middle of the night or early morning. Regular inspections and careful maintenance ensure that its engine is always running at peak performance, and all systems are fully operational. Small charming farm and its green meadows and golden fields lived a small tractor. Although it was not the largest or strongest, it was always ready to work and full of enthusiasm. Its red body gleamed in the sun and its wheels turned happily as it set off on another adventure. He eagerly entered the orchard, where baskets full of apples awaited him. One by one, he carefully placed them on his small trailer. When the trailer was full, the tractor slowly moved towards the fruit market. The road was bumpy, but the small tractor, with determination and precision, avoided all obstacles. lived a little red tractor named Max. Although he was the smallest tractor on the farm, his red paint always shone in the sun, and his engine ran quietly and smoothly. One day, as the harvest was approaching, Max saw that all the larger tractors were busy. They all had their own tasks. One was reaping the crops, another was turning the hay, and yet another was baling the straw. Max, although small, wanted to make himself useful. He decided to help in his own way. Max set out to the field, where he noticed that several small bales of hay had been left out. He knew that even such a small task was important. With precision, he drove up to the bales, picked them up one by one, and transported them to the storage room. The farmer was surprised at how much Max had done, despite his size. When the day was over, Max returned to his garage tired but proud. He knew that even though he was small, his work was just as important as that of the larger tractors. From that day on, Max became the hero of the farm, a red tractor that proved that it is not size that counts, but the heart to work. fertilizer spreader, seed drill and cultivator are three key machines that work together to ensure healthy plant growth in the field. The fertilizer spreader spreads nutrient-rich fertilizer that strengthens the soil, making it more fertile and ready for new seeds. The cultivator then turns the earth over, mixing the fertilizer with the soil, which improves its structure and aerates it, preparing ideal conditions for sowing. Finally, the seeder sows the seeds with precise precision, ensuring that they are evenly distributed and deeply rooted. These machines working together is essential to guarantee abundant and healthy harvests, showing how important cooperation is in agriculture. Okay, so let's get these machines ready. At the beginning, the cultivator drives, moving strongly and stably across the field. Its powerful teeth dig into the soil, breaking up clods and mixing it to improve the soil structure. The cultivator busily turns the soil over, aerating it and preparing ideal conditions for sowing. Each pass creates an even and soft surface, ready to receive the seeds that will soon be sown by the seeder following closely behind. Then it's time for the seeder, but first it needs to be filled with corn seeds so that it can spread them evenly over the field. This is a key stage in the sowing process, which requires precise operation because it determines whether the seeds will be placed in the soil at the right depth and with the right spacing. Make sure that the seeds are dry and clean to avoid problems with the seeder mechanism. After filling the device, you can start working, making sure that the machine moves along previously designated sowing lines, which will ensure even distribution of plants in the field and optimal conditions for their growth. Finally, it's time for the fertilizer spreader, so we start filling it with the appropriate amount of fertilizer, in accordance with the planned dose for a given field. This is an extremely important stage that aims to provide plants with the necessary nutrients that support their proper growth and development. Care must be taken to ensure that the fertilizer is evenly distributed, which prevents nutrients from being too concentrated in one place and lacking in another. Before filling the spreader, it is worth checking the technical condition of the machine to make sure that all mechanisms are working properly. After completing this activity, the spreader is ready for work, and we can start fertilizing the field, which will significantly affect future crops and plant health. After the field is prepared in this way, our corn will have optimal conditions for growth and development. Thanks to precise sowing of seeds and even distribution of fertilizer, the plants will have access to the necessary nutrients and water. Preparing the soil provided the appropriate structure, which will allow the corn roots to develop freely and draw the necessary substances from the soil. Now we can hopefully expect that our crop will be healthy, strong, and produce abundant harvests. It is also important to ensure proper hydration and protection of plants against pests and diseases.
starts with a morning on the farm, where a green tractor begins work. Each vehicle moves smoothly, and the animation emphasizes their maneuverability. The colors are vivid, and the surroundings are full of